Hey guys, Cybertechwerewolf here. Today I wanted to talk about the most ambitious crossover game ever made, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and talk about the journey we've had these past few years. But I'm not doing this alone. Today I am joined by content creator and fellow Smash enthusiast, HMK, a man whose dream finally came true. He got Sora in Smash. Please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm HMK, and the dream is alive. The dream has been alive. It's been so real, and I can't believe that Sora. Actually, I can believe that Sora made it to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but it's just so surreal that the day has finally come. It's past, and we are living in this reality. So thank you for having me on.
No problem, no problem. So, I wanted to talk about Smash Bros. Ultimate from beginning to end, as a celebration of Fighters Pass 2 finally finishing. So let's just jump into it from starting with like the beginning, like when we first got announced. But I want to talk about the elephant in the room, Sora. Is Sora everything you'd hoped he would be?
Honestly, he really is. He's everything I hoped he would be as a character that finally made it to Smash Brothers. And of course, a lot of people has been talking about how they've had ideas for his moveset, his representation, and how he functions in Super Smash Brothers. But honestly, after handling the character for like almost a month now, I can say honestly that he's everything I ever wanted to be when it came to finally representing Kingdom Hearts in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I have yet to be able to put him down. I've played Smash every day and been winning online tournaments with Sora, and I feel he plays really nice. Sure, he's gonna take a little bit of understanding when it comes to the more grounded characters of Smash, but I feel it's a really cool way to get how he functions in Kingdom Hearts in Smash Brothers, yet still feel like a Smash Brothers character.
Oh, I'd have to agree. Like, my favorite part, I think, of Sora so far is the fact that if you're playing in stamina mode and you beat your opponent, it has the winning scene from when you finally like win a fight in Kingdom Hearts. That's my favorite part.
It's so good, and it's like that extra level of love that Sakurai and Nomura and Disney Square Enix decide to put into this character. Is just, they really didn't have to do that, but the fact that they did is just it's so awesome.
It's reminiscent of when they had Joker when he uses his final smash, and if it wins the match, it does the end scene of when you win a fight in Persona. Like, that's that extra care that they put into Sora, I think.
Indeed, because sometimes the characters don't have that extra level of love. Like, we've seen that with Joker, we've seen that with Sephiroth. Like, every time he wins, instead of just the regular background, it's Nibelheim on fire.
Yeah.
So those extra miles really help drive the fact that this is like this is something that the developers enjoyed putting into the game, as well as we enjoy the appreciation of these characters in Smash.
Yeah, and I think you I know you made a video about like the spirits and stuff, and you pretty much got almost everything on point from what they were going to get for the spirits. The only thing I think I wasn't expecting with Sora is I was expecting like the stage to be a little different, but I actually like the stage that they chose.
Honestly, I was always on the boat. Anyone who's been watching my content knows that I've been on the boat, that I really wanted a stage that had the literal Kingdom Hearts in it, represented in the background. And then, if you play Kingdom Hearts, then there are certain stages that can have that can realize that, such as the end of the world, technically, the world that never was, the Keyblade Graveyard, and of course Collab Kylan. But Hollow Bastion is a very famous Kingdom Hearts stage. I mean, aside from Traverse Town, which got introduced in Kingdom Hearts also introduced Hollow Bastion, which has been pretty much a mainstay throughout the entirety of the series. We went between Traverse Town, Twilight Town, and even Daybreak Town when it comes to those other original stages. But Hollow Bastion, aka Radiant Garden, is something that's really stuck with fans and the series. So I feel it was like a good way to represent Kingdom Hearts in Smash. And of course, they gave a lot of love to Kingdom Hearts 1 when it comes to Sora's inclusion. So Hollow Bastion, I can dig it.
All right, we'll talk about Sora a little bit more towards the end, but let's go back to the beginning. I remember I've been watching you since the beginning, like the beginning of your channel, right? And so I was.
Oh, thanks.
I was watching you talk about Smash right before they announced it, and everybody was saying, "Oh, they're not going to put him in this direct. They're going to wait until E3." And you were on the boat of believe they're going to announce Smash, and the moment they announced it, it was amazing, right? And the moment we saw Breath of the Wild Link, we knew it wasn't going to be just Smash Wii U with a little, new coat of paint. we knew it was going to be a new game.
Definitely, like when that time was super electric. I still remember I was streaming with Blaba LP, AK Bond of Games, and Artsy Omni on that stream, and both of them were kind of like mostly Bond of Games. Jonathan, he was all like, yo, it ain't gonna happen, and then when it happened, he's like, I was wrong. And I remember my stream glitching out because I think I was like, you know, my mic was really like on the fritz. That's before I changed mics, and like it was just taking too much power, I guess. But I was really glad to, like, you know, sometimes your hope gets rewarded, and the fact that we did get Super Smash Brothers that soon into the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, and then having it announced March, the full blowout happening at E3, and then released the same year in December, I feel it was a really smart move. Of course, there was a lot of flavor that was retained from Smash Wii U and 3DS, even though Nintendo did confirm that the engine for this Smash Ultimate was built from the ground up. They did reuse a bunch of assets from the previous Smash game, and they brought back a lot of team members from the Bandai Namco team and the Sora Ltd team that was working together to make Smash Wii U and 3DS to make Smash Ultimate. So that expedited the process a lot, and Sakurai really went above and beyond, and I'm glad that he had the amount of foresight after Bayonetta's DLC ended in the last Smash game to start this new project, because of course, as we all know, the Wii U didn't perform so hot, so it was good that they, you know, strike the iron as fast as they could for the Nintendo Switch, seeing how like well it was selling, or the potential of how well it could sell, given that this game development started in 2015. I thought it was just a really good opportunity that they hit on the nail, so I'm so glad they did that, and I'm so glad they announced it at that direct.
Holy shit! Vindication! I told y'all! Believe! Oh my god!
I can't understand what you're saying right now.
I cannot believe they dropped believe! Smash! 2018! Ah!
Yeah, and I think they chose the perfect time to announce it, because if they had announced it, I don't think they would have had enough time to include everything they did in the E3 Direct. So I think telling us that it's happening and then having the E3 Direct had, I think, a good impact on the game's hype. What was your first thoughts when it was announced?
My first thoughts was that, you know, at first, like, my mind went to jelly. Like, my brain was on the fritz as soon as I saw that, you know, that Smash logo on fire. I was incredibly hyped. And then we got, like, for me, as anyone would know, I'm a huge Zelda fan. So seeing Link in his Breath of the Wild attire in Smash, that made me lose my mind. I like, if you go back to the reaction, I just kept on saying, Breath of the Wild, Link, Breath of the Wild, that's Breath of the Wild. So I was really excited to see that that costume alone basically confirmed to me that, you know, this is a new Smash game. That, like you said, that this isn't Smash Wii U 3DS, you know, a port for the Nintendo Switch, and that's, you know, that combination of factors really got me super excited. But I feel like the main thing that stuck with me was the fact that we were getting the next Smash game relatively soon when you compare the release of Wii U to the release of Ultimate. The last time we got a Smash game that soon, which I don't like, it sure counts, but I mean, I don't really count it as, like, you know, the time difference between Smash 64 and Smash Melee when it came to the 64 ending its life cycle going into the Nintendo GameCube. But I was excited, and that's the main thing that stuck with me when they finally revealed Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay. We can talk now. Let's talk about the next Direct. But before the next Direct actually happened, we had a leak by Verjuben, and no one believed it. Like, he was talking about how everyone was coming back, and it was going to be called Ultimate, and nobody believed him, and then we finally get the splash screen, everyone is here. What were your thoughts there? Because I know when you were talking about the Direct, or when you were watching the Direct, I mean, you were trying to be quiet because I guess you had people around you or whatever, and you didn't want to be too loud, but did you want to scream?
Oh, I definitely did want to scream, and the reason why I was trying to stay so quiet is because when that Direct was happening, the announcement, Nintendo has, as everyone knows this, Nintendo doesn't do, you know, like, big, I would say, physical conferences anymore at that point in time in E3, and I wasn't in the my hotel room because as soon as that Nintendo E3 was going to be over, then the doors were going to open for that date, because Nintendo always has their presentation the day of the first physical event of E3. So I had to be in the media room. And that's why I had to be so quiet, because I was surrounded by all these other journalists, media, content creators, whatnot. And then, you know, they were recording their audio visuals and then also working in the media room. And of course, I didn't want to get kicked out. So I had to try and restrain my hype as much as I could. But the fact that everyone was here, as soon as I saw Snake drop onto the screen, I was like, and also that was something that I never thought could happen, that Snake would come back, knowing what happened with Konami and all that good jazz. But the fact that Snake dropped him, that's when my hype levels were maximum. But I was really trying to like make sure I stayed a little quiet and whatnot. But as soon as I went onto the floor of E3, I was like running around like a kid at a candy store. Yeah. So that was what was going on. And when it came to the whole notion of everyone is here, and the fact that Sakurai was able to accomplish that, you know, it doesn't, in hindsight, it doesn't really come off as a surprise, because this is, you know, this is Sakurai who we're talking about. So he was able to make the impossible possible, and you know, I have nothing but gratitude to this man. And yeah.
Same here. And it was something, you know what's funny is, so when I was young, I think we all kind of did this. We were all making like our own like Smash rosters and stuff, like figuring out who's going to be in this next game. And when I was making mine, I was like, when I first started making mine, I was like 12, right? And I always had like this thing in the back of my mind. I wanted everyone to come back, but it was always like, it felt like a fever dream, like it wasn't going to happen. And then it finally happened, and I was on the floor. Like, I couldn't believe that that was my biggest dream, was having everybody come back, especially since everybody was telling me, oh, they can't have young Link come back, they already have Toon Link. And he was my favorite character in Melee, so I'm glad we got everybody.
Yo, big same, because that part also freaked me out too. I was like, yo, Toon Link and Young Link? I'll as a Zelda fan, I was like, all right, finally. And then even though we still haven't had a new Zelda character since technically Brawl, the fact that we finally have like 6 characters, like the 3 Links, Ganondorf, Zelda Sheik. The fact that we have 6 characters in Smash from Zelda is like great. I would love some more, but I mean,
I definitely would love some more. Like, I was kind of hoping like they would add a few more. Like, I kind of had like this hope in the back of my mind they'd have like the Hero Shade as like an Echo Fighter for Link. That I thought would have been pretty cool. Or like have Impa finally show up in the game, or somebody that's like a big name. But having 6 characters is finally, like, you know, because we have more Fire Emblem characters than we do Legend of Zelda characters. But Legend of Zelda is a bigger franchise, so I feel like they should add some more. But I'm still happy with what we got.
Right.
Then at the end of that direct, we finally got the big man himself. We finally got Ridley. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't think he would ever put Ridley in the game.
Honestly, I thought that Ridley was a shoo-in. For me, it was just a matter of time. You know, I felt that Sakurai was really pushing that character back, and I'm like, yo, like, come on, it's time. Like, Metroid really did need more representation in Smash, because all we had was Samus and Zero Suit Samus, right? And then in Ultimate, we actually got 2 more characters, which is cool. I mean, sure, Dark Samus is an Echo Fighter of Samus, but that's still really neat. So we got Ridley and Dark Samus, so now we have 4 Metroid characters, and I'm like, oh, the more the merrier, just to keep on keep bringing more Metroid characters. I mean, it's a bit hard considering the longevity of certain characters in the Metroid series don't last more than 1 game. Other than, you know, the mainstay is like Ridley and Samus, right? You know, we got the hunters that each get smoked. But I mean, we could get Silas, and I would love to see Silas in the game, because I mean that's like the only character that survived past his first appearance. You know, personally, I like Trace, but Trace got smoked. But yeah, so Silas would be cool. I would like Silas to, like, you know, be the next Metroid character, especially, you know, considering there are rumors that Silas might show up in Metroid Prime 4, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And then we got the next direct, and this is the one I was probably the most hyped for, was this one coming for like the main series, or like before the DLC. This was the one that I liked the most. Because we got my favorite character, King K. Rool, showing up in that, but we also got Simon and Richter. That, like, I knew, it was only a matter of time, I feel, that we were going to get a Castlevania character, but I was never expecting Richter.
You know, a lot of people really, really were surprised with Richter, especially considering that Simon technically got leaked a little bit. which was unfortunate. You know, a lot when the Castlevania trailer happened, a lot of people were like, all right, yeah, Simon, you know, but you know, people were still hyped. But I felt like it would have been a really, really cool surprise if it was like, yo, Simon and Richter. But I'm glad that the surprise factor was indeed retained for Richter, because a lot of people really didn't see him coming. And Richter is a very popular character, one of the most beloved characters aside from Simon, when it comes to the Belmonts and the overall, you know, Castlevania series. And I'm glad he was able to make it in. And although they are Echo Fighters, they do have that small subtle difference within their holy water, which makes, like, it actually does make a difference when considering your opponent. You know, if you're going against Pikmin, you're gonna want to choose Richter, because the holy water's properties is not fire, it's actually aura, so it could cut through the fire red Pikmin. But if you're going against, say, someone like Link or Young Link, where you could manually, you know, detonate their bombs before they can, or before they blow up, you choose Simon because of the fire properties of the holy water.
Right.
But it's really cool to see, like, both of them represented in Smash. I like Castlevania, but I was always like, yo, Castlevania Smash, that would be wild if it happened, and it did. So that's crazy.
Yeah. And then we finally got the big boy. We got King K. Rool. He's my favorite character of the base roster, because I've been wanting King K. Rool for the longest time.
Yo, King K. Rool is another character I've been wanting for a long time. I love King K. Rool, and I love the way he plays in Smash. Oh. Like, bro, that was just that's one of the top tier inclusions, new inclusions of Smash overall, in my opinion. I'm glad King K. Rool made it, and I really do appreciate his subtle redesign, where Sakurai, thank Lord, didn't have his, like, eye basically, like, you know, bulging outside of his socket. Sure, they made his eye, like, bulging, and it's bigger than the other eye, but it's not out of his socket. Because I always thought that was kind of gross, but it was, like, a little bit to the charm of King K. Rool. But I feel that this little update in design works better for Smash.
Yeah, that's something that that I'm kind of glad that Sakurai does when he includes a character into the games. He chooses, like, the best design for them. Like, he didn't, like, when he added Ken, he didn't choose Street Fighter V Ken, or
thank Lord.
Yeah. Or when he included Ridley, he made it look more monstrous than Ridley did in the games, where it was kind of just, like, blocky and just one note color, and he made him look more, like, intimidating. So I'm glad that he chooses the best designs for when he includes characters. The next one isn't too big of a reveal, but it's a character that I bet has been wanting for a while. It was Isabelle. I wasn't expecting a character to be announced during that direct, because I feel like, you know, they had a few, you know, I feel like they're gonna have one big direct left before just releasing the game. So it was kind of surprising for me that they kind of revealed Isabelle, but it was a nice inclusion. Probably not one of the hyper ones, but I think it was pretty nice.
You know, I'm actually a big fan of Animal Crossing, and I honestly thought Isabelle was a shoo-in. Because of her sheer popularity. Like, yo, not only does Isabelle have a lot of fans over in America, but Isabelle is gigantic in Japan. So I thought, like, you know, I honestly thought Isabelle was a shoo-in, and then I saw a trailer, I'm like, oh, it's Isabelle. But then the main confusion factor was that I was thinking, was she gonna be an Echo Fire to Villager? But she does have her own properties. Obviously, she is built off of a Villager's moveset, kind of like how right. Dr. Mario and Young Link were built off of Link and Mario. But she is still very much her own character. And a testament to her popularity is that when me and a couple of other Zelda tubers went to PAX East in 2020, they had the Animal Crossing New Horizons booth, right? And when that was happening, there were some mascots coming out from the back in order to, like, take photos with fans or whatever. And the first one who came out was KK Slider, and then Tom Nook came out, and people were, like, really, like, hyped and want to take pictures of Tom Nook and KK Slider. And, like, they were it was almost to the point of Fire Hazard, like, how much hype was being generated around these characters, because Nintendo's booth was right near the escalator. And then I was telling my boys, I'm like, yo, if Isabelle is here, we gotta go. We gotta hoof it, right? Because like as soon as she shows up, then, you know, like, everybody's gonna swarm that character in order to try and, like, take pictures with her. And lo and behold, she started coming out from the back. I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, yo, we gotta leave now. And then as soon as I said that, there are droves of fans rushing to go take pictures with the Isabelle model. And we're like, we gotta get out of here. So we left. And they're like, I want to take pictures with Isabelle. I'm like, bro, it ain't gonna happen. All right? It ain't gonna happen. We gotta get out of here. So Isabelle is a very, very popular character, so I always thought she was going to be in Smash.
All right, before we get into the next direct, we got to talk about the Grinch leak, because that was probably the most infamous leak to date.
Man, that Grinch leak, you know, like, the thing is, there were so many factors and variables surrounding that whole, like, saga. Like, you can't really blame those who believed it, because I believed it. Because I mean, like, the banner looked legit when, you know, obviously off screen, and then like whoever made it, like the person who made it still hasn't stepped forward, and I'm like, dude, claim your fame. It was a good leak. Like, you know,
it was definitely a good leak.
Yeah, and the fact that Nintendo showed up to an event there, that there were a whole you know, giving out Grinch posters for the Grinch movie that was coming out at the time. I'm like, come on, you can't blame us for not believing in this leak, because like all the signs were pointing towards it. But then we found out that it was fake, and I'm like, you know, that was fun. I'm like, there's people that get salty over leaks, and people who get mad is like, oh, why'd you make this leak? Oh, this leak didn't turn out to be true, or, you know, yada yada yada. And I had a great time with the whole leak. I thought it was just a funny saga that we can just look back and laugh. But that Grinch leak, in my opinion, it was a good leak. It was a really good leak.
But you know what? We still got some of the characters that showed up in it anyways, so it's like, it doesn't matter that we can be salty about an actor. We still got Banjo, we still got Ken, we still got some of the good characters, so I'm not mad at it.
Definitely not. You know, but I am still kind of like a little sour that we never got Shadow. Yeah. So
I was kind of expecting Shadow to show up as an Echo Fighter. Like, I'm surprised it didn't happen. So now let's talk about the final direct before the game's release. I was slightly disappointed because this one didn't have the hype behind the last one, but it was still good, and the fact that it introduced, like, it gave us hope for the future, right? Where it kind of like hinted at, you know, more characters later. But we got Ken and we got Incineroar. Which one were you more hyped for?
Honestly, I was more hyped for Ken, because I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, and even though I use, like, when I play Street Fighter, I use Ryu, but I'm glad that Ken was able to make it in Smash, like another Street Fighter rep, another Capcom rep. And even though he is like considered to be an Echo Fighter, and Sakurai keeps on saying that he was like the original Echo Fighter, he retains all of his properties that set him apart from Ryu from Street Fighter in Smash. So the fact that people like the game considers him to be an Echo Fighter, people consider him to be an Echo Fighter, but the thing is, I feel like he's like Ryu's Luigi. You know, there are so many properties that set him apart from Ryu in terms of his, you know, his Tetsumaki, his Shoryuken, even his Hadouken, and a lot of his attacks function differently than Ryu, which makes him a way bigger of a, in my opinion, Ken is a way bigger threat than Ryu is in Smash. And like that got me super hyped. Incineroar, I would like, you know, I use Incineroar was my what do you call it, starter in Sun and Moon. So, you know, it was cool that he was in Smash, and I felt that he was another Pokemon rep. And Sakurai seemed to be really excited about it because, you know, finally we have a character to represent, you know, the aspect of wrestling in Super Smash Brothers, which was cool. And it's not like I dislike Incineroar. It's just that if I had to choose between the two that I was more hyped for, it would be Ken.
I was going back to Ken. I'm surprised that he, like, I figured he was going to be an Echo Fighter, but I feel like he could have been his own character, and I would have been okay with it because he has more stuff to distinguish him between Ryu than Dr. Mario does to distinguish him between Mario. So I feel like Dr. Mario should have been an Echo.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And that's really odd to think about, that how Dr. Mario like has his own stuff. But I guess that Nintendo, well, that doesn't make any sense because Pit came out with Dark Pit in Smash Wii U, and then Dr. Mario returned in Smash Wii U, but he still retains a lot of, you know, like the same animations that Mario does. So that's kind of weird that, you know, I see your point that Ken is considered an Echo, but Dr. Mario isn't an Echo. I don't know. Like it's Sakurai's game. I just live in it.
I feel like he just wanted to have Ken have the Echo title because they wanted to, because they finally had like a big deal. Oh, the Echo fighters are here now, and I feel like he just wanted it to give him the totem of it.
Right.
So let's talk about spirits for a second. First and foremost, do you like them better than trophies, or do you wish the trophies would have returned?
You know, I wish the trophies were returned, but I like spirits, and I understand why with spirits, because Smash has become a bigger and bigger game as, you know, time passes. So it'll get hard, especially in HD, to model all these trophies that will be associated with all of these new franchises that are now represented together in Smash Ultimate, now that everyone is here. So I feel that spirits were indeed the way to go, and I do like what they did with them, especially when you had to fight spirits and the spirits themselves, the battle, the arena, and the properties.
They kind of,
you know, are
custom moves and stuff from Wii U.
Yeah, like, you know, I like how they represent the what do you call them? The points in time from their specific games in Smash. And now that we have spirits, we Smash and Sakurai could represent a lot more franchises. You know, in something like Smash Ultimate, even like they could represent a lot more franchises that don't have fighters in Smash, which I feel is always a good thing. You know, so I am sad to see trophies go, but I definitely understand why, because like, dude, the amount of manpower it would take to model the trophies and to give them all descriptions, I get it. Trust me, I am not mad or salty at all that trophies are in. I'm a bit sad, but I definitely understand.
Yeah. Alright, so then they revealed World of Light. Did you expect it to be what they kind of showed it, or were you a little surprised when you actually played it?
Well, the only factor that I was surprised in when it came to World of Light, because when the trailer showed off and then like they showed what it was all about, I pretty much got a good grasp of it. The one thing I was surprised about, and surprised in a good way, of how big it was. Because spoilers, you know, World of Light, I thought, okay, we get to Galeem and it's a wrap. Bro, like, we got to Galeem and then we got World of Darkness with Darkon, and I'm like, okay, all right, Sakurai, this is whoa, this is beefy, right? And then we got our own
multiple endings either.
Yeah, and then we got our own little multiple sub-worlds within the overworld, like, you know, taking the plane to the Street Fighter world, or going to Dracula's castle in the Dark World. I was floored. Yeah, so I was very satisfied with World of Light. And the only surprise, the pleasant surprise, was how big it was. So I was good.
I was kind of like, I liked the idea of World of Light. I just kind of wanted, like, what I want Nintendo to kind of do, and I wish they would have done something kind of like this, even if it was like its own thing, was kind of make like a crossover like this, and have like a big like subspace emissary type story, because I would have loved to have seen that. And because I loved the subspace emissary. I think it's still one of my favorite adventure modes to this day. I just kind of wish it was, you know, like a kind of like a mixture of the Melee one, where it had actual worlds that we knew, mixed with the story aspect of subspace.
Yeah, but that's definitely a tall order when you think about it, considering everything that's in this game already, and the fact that Sakurai really got burned. No, not needs a break. He got burned with Subspace Emissary. He's actually really mad about that, because he put his heart and soul into the story and to the cutscenes of Subspace Emissary, and it all got leaked before the game came out, and he did not like that one bit. So that's why it really turned him off from doing like a story mode again in future installments. So like the fact that we got World of Light, I really appreciate that, because I do understand where Sakurai is coming from. Like, imagine working on all this and then people weren't able to experience it organically through the game itself. So I definitely get, like, you know, his deal on that.
Yeah, and I found out about that actually way later, because I didn't even know that Brawl had even come out until I saw the game in stores, and then I played it and I loved it. And then when people said that the story was leaked beforehand, I'm like, man, that kind of sucks, because I didn't have that. Like, I actually experienced it firsthand when playing the game, and it was amazing. So I understand. Mm-hmm. And then we got your son, Pirahna Plant.
Yes, Pirahna Plant. That was so funny. I was just like, wow, that just really shows that Sakurai can do whatever he wants with this game, and no one can tell him what to do. Exactly. That's crazy. And you know, the funniest thing is that I love the way Pirahna Plant plays. Oh, yeah. So like, my son, I love it.
I play this game all the time with my family. Like, every day I play this game with my family. and I'll play I'll play it with them online and everything. And every single time I talk to him, my brother Mason loves the game, but he always gets salty because my little brother, like the one that's younger than us, me and him are like way better at the game than Mason is. So, and Noah loves to play Pirahna Plant, and Mason hates how Pirahna Plant plays just because he feels it's so annoying. But Noah just always is laughing at it. But it's funny to see how Noah at first, because he's a bit of a realist, so he didn't like the idea of Pirahna Plant at first. But then when we finally played it, and he was like, "All right, let's try this out." He loves the character now, and because I remember when we watched the direct together. And we watched it. We were like, oh, this is pretty good. We're hoping something big happens, and then we see Pirahna Plant, and he almost closed the computer. He was so angry, but now he loves it. So I find it so funny how people can hate a character at first, but then they see it and they're like, all right, I get it. It's pretty funny. All right, and then we get the announcement. We get the Fighters Pass. Were you expecting which characters in the Fighters Pass were you expecting to be in that got in?
For the Fighters Pass, like
the first one.
Okay, definitely Byleth. I thought that Byleth was like a shilling, honestly. And then, honestly, Byleth and Hero were characters I thought were just gonna like straight up be in the game. But Joker, Banjo, and Terry, like, I'm glad Terry got in, but I'm like, would Sakurai want to put him in this? Like, because I knew the history between Sakurai and Fatal Fury and King of Fighters. I knew that history, but I'm like, at this point in time, maybe, I don't know. But Banjo and Joker, I'm like, what? That had me. I'm like, okay, all right, Smash. Like,
Joker was my favorite reveal. I think that was like. Because I loved, like, so when people were talking about characters they wanted to see in the game, people were talking Joker from Persona 5. I had never played a Persona game before, so I was like, okay, let me try this game out. So I had just gotten out of boot camp at this point too, and I had decided I was gonna play Persona to see what the hype was about, and I finally played it, and it was amazing. And so I was like, okay, I want this character in this game, and then we finally got it, and I was like, okay. I'm glad they did what they did with this character because they put so much of Joker's gameplay into this. So I'm glad what they did. Like they did Joker the way that they did. So, but I figure your favorite was probably Banjo in the first Fighters Pass.
Oh, easily.
Okay, so let's go on to Fighters Pass 2 and then we can wrap things up. Who is before Sora? Who was your favorite?
Okay. I was like, okay, Fighters Pass 2. All right, before Sora, got it. Man, I honestly gotta tell you, Fighters Pass 2 had so many like back-to-back like slapping characters for me. I mean, sure, I like Min and I appreciate Steve and Alex and stuff, but like, to say that they're among my favorite characters is definitely not true. But the other three, Sephiroth, Pyramithra, and Kazuya, now that's my bread and butter. But when it comes to my favorite character, other than Sora on Fighters Pass 2, it would have to be Sephiroth. It would have to be Sephiroth.
Okay. I kind of saw that one coming. My favorite, I think, was Kazuya, though, because I love Tekken. I was kind of hoping for Jin, because he's my favorite Tekken character overall. But
I can't deal with Jin. I am so glad it was Kazuya. I can't. I hate Jin's moveset, dude. I need my Mishima spins. I need my Mishima style. Ever since he dropped it after Tekken 3, I'm like, no, my God.
So, I didn't like the idea of Min. I feel like if they were gonna do an ARMS character, they should have put it in base roster. But I can see why they want to put Min in there. Steve was surprising to me. Sephiroth, I almost died over. And then I wasn't the biggest Xenoblade 2 fan. I'm a much bigger Xenoblade 1 fan, but I kind of expected Pyramithra to show up, or at least Rex. I was kind of expecting Rex more overall, but and then Sora. Let's finish off with a banger. Sora's finally in. You almost died in that direct, watching Sora finally be announced.
A lot of people don't know this, but the thing is, I actually I almost fainted like 3 times during that stream. So, like that's not out of the realm of impossibility what you just said. It was just crazy. You know, my whole like the fact that it was the last fighter, my whole system was already wired, and the fact that it was Sora, it's just like, bro, oh man, I was struggling. I was legit struggling. So yeah,
I almost thought it was a Dark Souls character because it looked like the bonfire, but then
I had the bonfire lit. And I honestly was scared it was gonna be Incineroar because the way Incineroar does its like kicking fireball moves is like it kicks a small flame, or rather a rock, and it starts out as a small flame and then becomes that big fireball, the fire soccer ball that it kicks.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that it's like Cinderace. I said Incineroar earlier, didn't I?
Yeah.
I meant to say Cinderace. I was gonna come up from the shadows and just like kick it at Mario, and it's like, oh, Incineroar kicks it up a not whatever. I'm so glad it was Sora though. Like,
yeah, I was talking to Count Gareth about this the other day because I was streaming. He shows up and I was telling him about it, and he said he was so angry that it showed up because he's like, I lost a bet, and I had to ask him about it, and he's now he has to stream all of Kingdom Hearts on his channel.
Yep.
That's all for this. Thank you for showing up.
Oh no, thank you so much. I had a good time with this. This was a great talk.
Thank you. Go ahead and before you go ahead and show whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. So, hey guys, this has been HMK, and you can find me by tagging HMK in Google or HMKiller in Google. All of my tags are at HMKiller, so you should be able to find me there: Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
And I'll put all of that in the description as well, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But thank you for coming out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to HMK for coming out and joining me today. Please like and consider subscribing. It really helps me out. I will link all of his socials in the description down below. And until next time guys, stay hype, stay awesome, stay weird, and be nice to each other. Cybertechwerewolf, signing off.